Primus Radio brings you the best in funk, soul, and everything in between. Primus Radio. Express, exhibit, explore. Now, let's get back to the groove. We give you the right tunes, the right vibe, all in one in all. It is Primus. It's focused. Primus Radio. Express, exhibit, and explore.
Are you ready to explore the world around you with fresh insights? Tune in to Mindful Matters. Join us every week as we dive deep into topics that matters. Our experts, guests, and thought-provoking discussions will enlighten, educate, and inspire positive change. Catch us every Thursday by 4 to 5 p.m. on Primus Media City. Mindful Matters, bringing reality to you.
Mindful Matters.
Good evening, everyone. This is another Thursday. It's a cool Thursday here, and I believe it's a cool Thursday there too. We thank God Almighty for its wonders and how the society is moving. I welcome you to Mindful Matters on Primus Media Radio. It is nice to have you here with us again. Today, we are going to talk on something special too. But before that, I would like to introduce my analyst in the show. Some have known them already, and if you're watching us for the first time, that's why I'm going to introduce them again. My analysts are Omolola Opasina and Tony Onyemah. So I would like Omolola once again to greet everyone at home for another episode of Mindful Matters. So back to you, Omolola.
Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to today's show. It's Mindful Matters on Primus Media City. On Mindful Matters, we bring reality to you. We are super grateful to have you join us today. You're welcome.
All right. To Tony Onyemah, please greet people at home, please.
Good evening, our dear listeners, wherever you may be. It's Mindful Matters o'clock every Thursday, 4 to 5 p.m. in the evening. Wherever you might be, at your office, in your car, in your shop, in your hostel, as students, you're welcome once again to yet another mind-blowing, educating, and informating show. Please do continue joining us till the end of the program.
All right. So, thank you to have us back again. This is Mindful Matters. Mindful Matter is a radio talk show where we discuss important sector around the society. So today, we're going to discuss on something interesting too. Something wonderful. Something you all will learn from it. But before I introduce the topic, would like to go on a music break. So when we're back, then we'll continue the conversation. Thank you.
Bring it on, bring it on. You, bring it on. Life know the sweet though, hey. If some people know the hate too. So use the number 6 so and calculate. You go see the ratio. The beef self na me yo. Whether na asu, them relate to. So bring your own crayfish, oh. We go mix, oh Lord. Shane and them talk say we no go blow. Share them they see us now, we don't dey glow. Take a look at me now. Take a look at me now. We're running things in this town. Can't you see?
I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you do, just as long as you're chasing money.
All right. Welcome back from the music break. So, like I said, we have an interesting topic today. One thing about mindful matter is this. We notice our society today, we have a lot of issues that are not right. And we need to fix them by bringing them on air and discuss about it. And to you, our viewers, we also want to use this show to educate, to enlighten, and to make sure that this society becomes a better place for us all. So welcome to Mindful Matters. Today on the show, we're going to be talking on paternity fraud. Paternity fraud has been another issue in our community. We made our research and we discovered that Nigeria is the second highest when it comes to paternity fraud. And this has made the society become something we don't want to do. So with this topic today, we're going to discuss about it and we're going to fix it. So as you join us on this issue, we believe we're going to make a better repair towards our society today. But because I have my analyst in the house today, they will be the one giving us the full meaning and everything that concerns paternity fraud. So, on my right hand side is Omolola Opasina. So, Omolola, we are back here again with another topic.
Yes.
What do you think can we define as paternity fraud, please?
You mentioned earlier that Nigeria ranked second worldwide when it comes to paternity fraud, according to a report between last year, that's July 2023, and this year, July 2024, from the DNA testing site in Lagos. Out of every 4 men that comes for the test, one test comes out negative, meaning that this issue is eating deep into our society. So what is paternity fraud? Paternity fraud is paternity fraud happens when a woman, now maybe it could be your wife or your sexual partner, deliberately, intentionally, I mean, it's not a mistake, deliberately leads that man into believing that he is the biological father of a child he is not. That is when paternity fraud occurs. We hear a situation where women say, oh, I don't know. No, it's not like that when it comes to paternity fraud. In paternity fraud, it's intentional, it's deliberate. You made up your mind that I would give this child to this man to nurture, to raise, to groom. So that is
okay. Thank you very much. Now to Tony Onyemah. What is paternity fraud? What is your own view towards this, please?
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Paternity fraud This topic is of great concern to everyone, and it is a great issue that needed to be discussed because I see it to be a widespread disease that is eating deep into the fabrics of not even our culture, not even our society here in Nigeria. It's a widespread deception. Paternity fraud, to me, I would say, is a deceptive practice by women. A deceptive practice by women who has these wicked, evil, bad, ignoble intention of misrepresenting a child's biological father. You see it occur when a woman, I wouldn't want to fully 100% agree to something intentional or deliberate. I guess at a later time I will explain that. You see them knowing fully well that this child may actually not be that of this man that they claim to be the biological father. You see them misrepresenting that information for their own selfish desire. Maybe it may be for making that man to wanting to be responsible for the support of that child, for child support sake or any other thing. So it occurs when a woman actually, forcefully claim the biological father of a child over whatever selfish reason she may be having. So that is paternity fraud to me. It's a widespread deception. It's a widespread disease now.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Well, to our viewers out there, we want to make sure that this paternity fraud is something that everyone understands. So we have a short video of examples of paternity fraud that we're talking about here. In few seconds now, we're going to be playing a video showing a lady claiming a certain guy to be the biological father of a baby, but at the end of the day, things got out of hand. So in few seconds now, the video should pop up. So thank you. Join us in watching the video.
On the Justice Court, the plaintiff, Esther Adeniyi, is asking the court to compel the defendant, Christian Chukwudi Anthony, to be responsible for the upkeep of her son.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Fumi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Esther Adeniyi and Christian Anthony. Parties sworn on it.
Thank you, Aki.
Welcome.
Esther Anthony.
Esther Adeniyi.
Esther Adeniyi.
Yes.
You brought Anthony to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
So can you tell me why you are here?
When I was pregnant, I told him, and he said I should leave the baby, that I should not remove it. And I said, okay.
When was that?
That was 2018.
Okay.
I said, okay. Then he came to see my mom. And I went to see his family also. Then we did just more introduction. And I started staying with him. We stayed together for when the baby was 3 months. I started staying with him till 9 months. And I come back to my mom's place because the sickness is too much for me. So I came back to my mom. So my mom was taking care of me till I give birth. Then I called him. I said, should I come back? He said I should stay in my mom's place for the meantime. Then later, when the baby was 2 months, I did not see him again. He did not call. I was not like, what is happening? Then I later find out that he impregnated another person. So since then, when it was 2020, he called. He said he wants to come and take care of the child. And I said, okay. Like she comes since I've not seen him. I did not even see him again since 2020 till now.
Do you call him?
No.
You don't have
I don't have his phone number.
Okay, Anthony, what happened?
When I was dating her, so let me just say maybe 2 weeks on our dating, so she just comes, she told her she's pregnant. And I was like, you are pregnant? Oh, no problem. We can leave it. Because girl have not told me that she's pregnant before. We can leave it. But after some weeks, there's a guy called Ogede. The guy came to meet me and telling me that the pregnancy is not for me. I was like, are you okay? What are you talking about? You don't tell me.
That was about how long after she had the baby?
She had not had the baby. Then she's still pregnant.
She was still pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
So when the guy came to meet me, the guy name is Ogede. We call him Ogede Korodu. So I was like, okay, can you say it in her presence if I take you to her? So the guy told me, we should go. Okay, no problem. We go and meet her, and she was crying that this guy is lying. I told him that you should not tell me that word anymore. Okay. Before the guy leave me that night, tell me that if she be me, I have money. That is why I'm using Owola to buy it home. The way you said it in Yoruba. So I was like, okay. Oh, what are you not saying now? They say me, I will see money. I will see people, I will call him. He started swearing for me that night. So I was like, all the things you are saying, you will carry it to your head. But since then, since has not been normal. And each time I came closer to her, I knew her. Her pregnancy normally run up. Yeah, the baby. And once I leave her, go to the work, she will fall to hospital. I will start spending money running up and down. Like, I noticed that in 3 times. Before I called her mom, she come and pick her. Because before I did that, my pastor have already told me before, like, this guy, I want to put him out. Even then told her in her prison that we are not meant to marry, that she's not my type. But that's not what I'm going to.
Why did you date her?
No, before then, it's when she was pregnant. That is when my auntie take us to the pastor. What the pastor is saying that I'm not supposed to marry her. I'm not even supposed to come closer to her. I'm not even supposed to climb her for any before she will not get pregnant. That even the way she's seeing it, is the way him is seeing it, that he's not sure if is what he's saying, but I should just go and continue training the baby. But he's giving me assurance that after 5 years, a big secret will leak.
After
5 years, a big secret will come out. I was like, okay, no problem. But after when she gave birth, since then, if I'm working, I'm not saying it.
Before?
Let's tell me about it.
You are hearing for the first time?
No, he called me one day and said, Ogede called him and said he's the owner of the child. Then I went to meet the guy and I said, all of us should meet together. The guy said he cannot say it in his front, that why is he going to claim someone's child? Till now, the guy is not, we used to see each other, but we did not used to talk. Because it was like, he's not the owner of the child. Why is he going to claim someone else's child? What is Chukwudi saying? He's not the owner of the child. Because I used to see him every day at Arunode, but we did not used to talk again. Because I told him that he should stop greeting me. That Chukwudi called me and said, you went to go and meet him that he's the owner of the child. He said no, that he can't claim the child, that he's not the owner.
Hello, okay. Hello. Sorry. When you were pregnant, didn't the guy come to meet you? Both of us come to meet you that night.
He came to me, but he did not tell me that. They did not tell me what they are saying.
No, wait. Anthony, when you went to meet her with Ogede, what transpired that day?
Ogede was like, only to one mention me come money. She was not crying.
Say that in English.
The pregnancy you have is not my own. She was not crying.
She started crying?
Yes.
What did she say after crying?
She came back to meet me that he's lying, that I should not believe this guy. She was crying bitter that night and she was kneeling them in front. I was like, Esther, did you not stand up for this one? For now, just don't worry. Okay, just saying his own. I have not believed for now. But don't worry. So instantly I sent Ogede away. I should just go. So since then, if Ogede normally look at me one kind. After she even gave birth, Ogede came back and meet me again. Anytime I go to Ikorodu and see this guy, he will stop me. When I go to Ikorodu last, people in the industry was like, Ogede, stop her and collect the baby from her. Lie?
All their friends said that. All
That
their
is
friends
stop-
that.
collect baby from
One
her back.
person at a time.
Wait.
They can't interrupt somebody else.
That okay, they stop and collect the baby from her back. That this baby is for him. That she know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Because I was
What
not
do you have
at
to
school
say to
anymore.
that?
Well, the child is not staying with me. The child is staying with my mom. So Ogede has not seen the child right from baby. The child is staying. My mom is also here. She's not. The child is staying with my mom, right? She's the one taking care of the child right from baby because she said I won't know how to take care of the baby, so she helped me and take care. She collected the child from me. Then I'm not staying with my mom. So Ogede has not seen the child. In fact, Ogede cannot even say it to my phone that he's the owner of the child. Because he used to say it that.
Eventually, you opted for a DNA test. Alright? It's because you want to ascertain the paternity of the baby. You are aware of that?
Yes.
You are aware of that? And you are aware of that too?
Yes.
Okay. I want us to have the DNA result now. Can we have the DNA results?
Your Honor, this is the result of the DNA.
To determine the biological father of Chika Praise, Lynn's DNA and Medical Diagnostic Center has helped to facilitate a DNA paternity test. Is that right? I want you to confirm. Thank you. So this result I'm holding was prepared by DNA Diagnostic Center in Ohio, USA. And what we have in here is that this is to certify that the result of DNA test conducted for Christian Chukwudi Anthony and the minor child Chika Praise Anthony has been perfectly analyzed as concisely summarized below. We have the case number, the child male, that's Chika Praise Anthony, alleged father Christian Chukwudi Anthony, and the DNA analysis negative. The above result summary shows that Christian Chukwudi Anthony is not the biological father of the requested male child.
An issue becomes 80% disadvantage, and it's not helping the economy, or better still, it's not helping the country itself. It becomes a general problem. So paternity fraud is something we should look onto in our society today, because Nigeria seems to be the second highest in paternity fraud in the whole world. So that will make me to look into this. Now, let me ask this question from my analyst. And Tony, please, I want you to get ready for this. What are the insight and implication of paternity fraud in Nigeria today? What's your own view towards this?
You're talking about insight and implications of paternity fraud. There are many cases that breed that comes to limelight. Thank God for the social media these days, as well as our conventional media. So many of those cases, keep being reported every blessed day. And what does it boil down to? You said in your intro that of a report that Nigeria being the second. I guess we have it even all over all the websites that reports issues of paternity fraud and co. Because according to another report by fraud.com, there's this particular website that is into identifying, showcasing and treating issues of fraud all over the world. It's an international website anyway. You see this particular website claiming that not that Nigeria being only the second highest in paternity fraud, but that our Nigerian women, despite their rich culture, despite their rigorous involvement in religious activity, they are seen to be the highest sexually unfaithful women in the society, and that rated them to be the second highest in the world when it comes to issue of paternity fraud. How does that affect our society? That's a very bad image for Nigeria. Second highest, for goodness sake. We don't pray to be recognized in something good. We don't pray to be recognized in. Why all these ills? Why all these evils? Why all these atrocities? Nigeria claiming to be champion. Nigeria claiming, and just imagine, it will surely continue to have that disadvantage, that evil effect, that black image being painted in the society and even in the international world. And you could see it, the trust in marriage, the trust in relationship, the bond, the love bond between parent and child, they are being affected. So paternity fraud is a big thing, is a disease. We talk about Nigeria. Okay, even that country that claimed to be first, I guess Jamaica is the first. Jamaica being the first. We know them for their own culture. But when we talk about Nigerian culture, there is no culture, major culture. The major ethnic groups in Nigeria does not that its culture supports issue of unfaithfulness among women. Okay, and going by that, you could even see by the video you played, you could even see how confident that woman was until that result was read out.
Yes.
Though I wasn't there, there may be issues surrounding, our own confidence, having that firm belief that yes, this man is the father of the child or stuff like that. But still, for goodness sake, if there has not been that iota of distrust between that man and that man wouldn't have gone to even do that DNA test to confirm, to ascertain that if that child is his or not. So it's a very bad image to our country. It's a very bad image to our society. Trust has no place in marriage, no place in relationship, no place in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for that. Wow. Now, back to Omolola. Now, Omolola, what's your own view? What are the insights and implication of paternity fraud in Nigeria today? What's your take in this?
Tony has spoken a lot, and I would love to add that it's apart from the issue, apart from the negative image this issue is giving Nigeria, I would also like to talk about this from the emotional aspect. From that video, can you imagine it's just 10 minutes, but you can imagine the number of days, months, years that they have been on this, the legal implications, the emotional damage, the back and forth. Thank God that in fact, why am I even saying thank God? The child is just nothing less than, I think, maybe roughly 5. What if the child is 18 years old, 20 years old, and is being thrust right in the middle of this legal battle? What emotional damage do you think the child will be going through right now? The question that would arise in his mind would be, who am I? Where do I belong to? Now let's talk about the man. This man has been made to believe that he is the father. Any victim of paternity fraud has been made to believe that he is the father of a child, and he has invested his time, energy, resources, love, especially if this bond is now so thick and so unique. Waking up one day and discovering that this child is no longer mine. Where will he start from? What identity do you want him? There's this new level of identity that a man gets into when he becomes a father. He begins to see there's a new level of responsibility, a new level of love. He say, I'm no longer living for myself. I have a child, but now this child is no longer mine. He begins to question now, what else is true about me? Do I deserve this? A whole lot. Then let's talk about the medical aspect. Now let's say the lady from this video now was successful in trusting the child on the man. Let's say there's no DNA and whatsoever, and the child later develops a medical condition that is maybe hereditary. how will you solve it? How will you go about it? The guy can say, oh, this is not from my family. Now, can you imagine that? Where will they start from?
Yes.
You know, the question, you start to imagine whose child it is it rather, where is it coming from? And you know, it's a whole lot. We can't pinpoint to a particular, it's a whole ball game entirely. And the implication is nothing positive at all.
Okay, thank you very much for that. But let me add something to this. I think it is high time the government should come into this. Because when we have an issue, and that issue is tarnishing the image of the country, I believe it is the responsibility of the government to come in and set things straight. For government to, how will I put it, set immunization for children for free, for government to do HIV test for free, I think it is high time that government bring this issue of DNA test. They should bring it down for free, because this paternity fraud is not only staining the nation flag, but is also bringing down the glory of the nation. And it is the work of the government to protect the nation. So, because we believe in different opinions, we are going to go outside to listen to what people have to say concerning paternity fraud. Sit down, stay tuned, and let's go outside together.
Paternity fraud is a very serious issue. Very, very serious issue this time around. A lot of family have separated because of this. A lot of husband and wife, they have gone different ways because of this issue. In a situation whereby a man has been taking care of a child right from day one, and he discovered that the child that he had been taking care of does not belong to him, it's a very big issue. And the things that need to be done, I think, and I urge our government to work or to do something about that, because any day that a child is being born, they should conduct the necessary test from the father and the child. I think from there we can be able to identify who the child is. Thank you.
Paternity fraud, that's quite a complex and emotionally charged issue, to be honest, and that needs to be talked about more, because I feel like we do not speak on the effects that it has on both parties enough. Because you know, is it the deceit, the deception coming from the person that you love, knowing that they've lied to you all these years, they've, you know, hiding that important truth from you, and then a child that you cared for emotionally, financially, and in every way possible, you now get to find out that that child is not yours. You know, the family dynamics now changes, the bonds that have been formed are now shattered. You know, there's also the psychological effect that it has on the child, the role model, the father that you've looked up to. Oh yes, I want to be like my dad, and then you get to know that they are not your real father, and it changes the perception that you have of your mother. It has quite devastating effects, to be very honest. We need to speak about it more. The consequences, the effects that it has on the family is something that it's very, very hard to come back from, if you ever come back from it.
I can't just imagine nurturing a child for so year, and on a good day, and I discover it has been nothing but a paternity fraud to be so.
Welcome back. I believe we have all listened to what people said about paternity fraud. This is a very great issue in this country, and we need to tackle it. Because if we want the society to become a better place, we need to start taking some effort in solving some things. Yes, there are issues that are governmental, and there are issues that are not governmental. Now, this paternity fraud is not a governmental issue. It's an issue between you and I. It's what will cook up in our relationship and marriage, and it has to stop. So you see why individuals have a role to play to make Nigeria a better place. Now, this will make me now ask this question, because that paternity fraud is becoming something else, and it is time we need to tackle this thing down. So my question is this: what are the side effects of paternity fraud, on children's life within the family? And I'm going to start from Omolola. Omolola, what is your own view? Like, what are the side effects on paternity fraud on children within the family? What's your view, please?
There are a whole lot of side effects. I mentioned a few earlier when I was talking. You see, apart from the psychological effect, the emotional damage, the child could begin to question his identity. Who am I? Where do I belong to? Does my father not love me? Imagine a child that has been raised to believe this man that I call father is a role model, a mentor, a teacher, someone that loves me, and waking up one day and discovering that everything is a lie. You see, the child starts to question. Then, where am I starting from? Who am I looking up to now? Apart from that, what of the societal stigma? Oh, there's a thin line between he's a bastard and he does not even know his father. So can you see? It's a whole lot of things. There's the emotional damage, the psychological damage. There's the the identity damage as well. There is the societal damage too. So all those things cook up to implicate the child involved in paternity fraud.
Okay, thank you very much, Omolola. Now back to Tony. What's your view? Like, the view on what are the side effects of this paternity fraud on children that are in the family? What are the side effects to them?
Okay. This topic, like I said earlier, is a universal one. And I guess the reason why we're analyzing this is to actually illuminate the prevalence, the impact of this paternity fraud in our society, considering its complexity, its scope, its consequences. Now, the consequence on that of children in the society, in the family. You see, in this particular issue of paternity fraud, children are always and oftentimes the victim. They are always the victim. Forget about the father who may now be undergoing the emotional stress that, where am I going to start from, stuff like that. But the children, they are always, after knowing that this man is not my father and this woman has actually cheated this man in that regard, he or she will now be stigmatized by the society. They are faced with stigmatization in the society. I think there was a time we discussed single parenting. And we talked about some of the consequences of single parenting as regard that of the child, affecting that of the child. Imagine a child being called in the society a bastard because the man that he claimed to be the father, that this society knows to be the father, is no more the father. His peers, even the media, the social media, even the society, they may now be directly or indirectly tagging him to be a bastard. Within him, he's aware that he's no more welcome. How can he adjust to that particular society? Before you know, it's already affecting his education. Before you know, it's already affecting his relationship with people around him, the society. Before you know it, this child will just take laws into his hand. Oh, since I don't have a father again, you people, things like that. So ordinarily, the child is solely affected when it comes to issues like this. That is why you see some family knowing fully well that there is this issue of paternity fraud. Some of them do try to just carpet it or just be silent about it in that area. But the children are oftentimes being stigmatized in the society by peers, by the media and everything. You see them even on social media. They don't talk on issues like this. They will just cage themselves. So that is just one of the major side effects I feel affects that of the child in the family and in the society. Being stigmatized.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Now that we are getting to the how will I put it? We are digging deep into this topic. There is a picture we displayed on the screen the other time. A man found out that he is not the biological father of his own child, that he thinks the child is his own, and he fainted, and from that he died. Now, this will now make me to ask this question. Is paternity fraud is it actionable under the law in Nigeria? Because the kind of person was saying now, okay, take for example this man now that died. Are we going to say it's a natural death, or what the woman did to him? So I'm asking this question now. Let me start from you, Tony, please. Now, is this action, this paternity fraud, is it actionable under the law of Nigeria? What's your view?
Which are actionable under the law? At least most of our tenets in our constitution are being copied from that of the USA. And you see, this paternity fraud is another issue when it comes to that particular country. You know, the ladies over there, they glorify it to be as another source of income for them. So when it comes to our constitution in Nigeria, I don't see it anywhere in our constitution where you punish these women with this heinous, this evil, wicked act, trying to defraud as well as even kill in quotes now, because it's you gradually killing the man, knowing fully well that this man is not the father of that child. So there is no place in the law. I have gone through the constitution. Sure, I was reading a report in 2023 Vanguard, the newspaper, trying to talk about cases of paternity fraud in Nigeria, and none of these women, none of them has actually been sentenced as regards this. Imagine the name paternity fraud. Is fraud not a crime? But they are not recognizing it to be a crime to be punishable under the law. Go through the constitution of the land. There is no place in that constitution that will sentence a woman who has actually, defrauded a man through this particular issue. So, to me, it's not actionable, but something needed to be done in this regard. At least for that damage, that financial damage, child support that this man has actually been incurring on this child, at least the court should be able to do something in that regard for that man to regain part of this thing that he has done on that child. At least the woman should be able to face something from the law. But I don't think so. We don't have it in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much. Now to Omolola. Now, do you think this paternity fraud, you think is actionable under the law in Nigeria?
I support Tony 100% on this, because I also went through, I checked, and I saw that there is no clear-cut action taken against anyone found guilty of this crime. The MCR and the Matrimonial Causes Rule, and then the Matrimonial Causes Act. Those are the two leading legal body for marriage in Nigeria. Does not have anything to say. They are being silent about this. They don't have anything to say about it. So what they tend to do is to look for remedy. Oh, this thing has happened. How can we package it, retable it, so that this man would not just go like that. They now tend to look for remedy to say, okay, you would refund him, you would pay him back so amount of money, But then, can money buy a child? Can money buy the number of love? The years of love, the years of sacrifice that you have spent on a child? So there's no clear-cut punishable act for this criminal offense yet in Nigeria.
Okay, even myself, I've made some research, but one thing I want to add to this is this: if we want to build a society, the law has to hold in every aspect, because once a certain crime does not have the law to back it up, it will be so easy for the citizen to do it so many times, and it will come back to the society, which will not tell good on us. Because how can a nation as great, as powerful as Nigeria be the second highest in paternity fraud? So this topic is a very, very important thing. If you're out there, this is Mindful Matters on Primus Media Radio. You can join the conversation through the number on your screen. And let me call the number out. That is 081-090-59310. You can listen to us on Radio Garden, Zeno Radio, Radio Net, and Radio Box. Please, your contribution is very important to us. If you want to drop yours in the comment section, please do that. We'll see it. Then we'll bring you in. So this to my analyst in the house. Now, we all know that the paternity fraud doesn't have any action, like legal stuff backing it up. That will make me to ask this question then. How do we put a stop to this paternity fraud in the country? I will start from Omolola. Omolola, how do you think we can put a stop to this so that we can have a good society? You know, and the Nigerian name, the image can be protected. How do you think we can stop this paternity fraud in this country?
You mentioned earlier, you said the government should make the DNA test free. I said beyond making the DNA test free, there should be stricter laws put in place. Let's read one day or watch one day that a particular maybe woman that committed this act was sentenced to 10-15 years imprisonment. You would see so many people sit up. You will see so many people sit up. So you see, then apart from that, right from birth, can there be a mandatory testing so that there will be a clear cut? This child is not mine, and the father can go his separate ways, and not invest so much time, so much energy into raising a child that's not his. I would suggest this too for now.
Okay, before I move down to Tony's side, something came into my own mind too, and I think this paternity fraud, in my own view, there should be a law. There should definitely be a law for it, because this thing is now eating our society like a virus, and it is getting the society so bad. Because I don't know how a country that is full of so much culture, so much dignity, is now the second highest in paternity fraud. So I think there should be a law to back this up, so that people, ladies involved in this kind of act will not do that. So let me go back to Tony Onyemah. What do you think we can do to put a stop to this paternity fraud in Nigeria?
Okay, I guess this thing is a living thing now. And the funniest thing is that being a living thing in our society that dines with us now, as human dies, this thing is not dying.
Yes,
instead, it is growing day by day. So, putting a stop to this is first understanding how this thing occurs. Because it is by understanding how it occurs that you can now, follow that part of, okay, how can we now arrest it before it now arrives to killing, individuals involved. And one of the ways that this thing occurs is through this erroneous naming of these birth certificates of kids. Most hospitals, once a child is born, they will want to know the paternity of that child. Before a name of that man is written on the birth certificate as the father of that child, can a DNA test be conducted immediately to ascertain if that man is actually the father of that child? At that moment, the man will know his fate, instead of wasting his time on child support at a later time. And sometimes you see these women, one of the factors of this paternity fraud is rape. Some of them may be raped and they will not want to, voice out to tell their lover or their husband that I've been raped. So that miscommunication, misinformation. Why can't some people just open up to their lover, to their husband? Oh, something happened to me. If that is done, that man can easily take that woman for medical test if it is to flush the system, so that issues like this will not arise at a later time. Okay, there are so many things that could be done, but government should step up in this regard and try as much as possible. If you are copying constitution from other countries, try as much as possible to be original in your own self. This case is actually eating deep and is causing a whole lot of things in the society. Government should make legislate laws on how to arrest this issue. It is fraud, and fraud is crime. These women that are engaged in this should be punishable, for goodness sake. When it comes to a man not performing his duty over a child, you will take the man to a court and court will punish the man. But when a woman is actually committing a fraud in this regard, defrauding that man intentionally, deliberately, you do nothing to the woman. Government should do something in this regard. And on the issue of DNA, government should try as much as possible to include it from the start. As the time the child is born, let a DNA be conducted from that of the blood or the particles of that child to that of the man. In comparison, the man will know his fate, the mother will know his fate, the child will know his fate right from there. So thank you.
Okay. While Tony was talking, another thing came up to my mind, which I will want you, my two analysts, to talk about. Is it possible that, okay, let's assume the woman, the baby was, maybe exchanged during delivery. We have incidents like that. Maybe, okay, the woman was not even aware herself. Maybe the child was exchanged or something. What do you think can be done in that kind of aspect? Tony, let me first of all hear your view.
You see this issue. That was why I said there are so many ways this paternity fraud could actually occur. Okay, it may actually not be deliberate. I said it from the beginning that I may not want to 100% agree that it is a deliberate attempt by women. There are instances like that mistakes are made. What about that manipulation of this DNA result? Who told you they don't manipulate results? Just for that woman to wanting child support over that child from a man that she has actually identified to be you. You are the one I want to be the father of that child. So DNA test could be manipulated. The case you have painted could actually happen in the hospital. So there are so many things we need to look at. A hospital system that does not have supervisor to supervise. A hospital system that cannot even allow a father. How can I have a wife and my wife want to give birth and you will not give me that room? It's up to me to want to see where my wife is giving birth. I want to see how my child is moved from that place or that what do you call that table that from that labor room or stuff like that to where the child will now be dressed and be given to me for me to carry my child. And all of a sudden between this process you will see a child being exchanged for another. Cases like this happen. So there are so many ways we could look into it. If you don't know how it occurs, you cannot actually know how to arrest it. That is just my point.
Okay, back to Omolola. So Omolola, what's your own
so you see, for me, that fraud behind that paternity has made it criminal. there's a difference between paternity misrepresentation and paternity fraud. The case that he mentioned where the child was switched at birth is not paternity fraud from the woman's side now. It could be a mistake. It could be as a result of business. I read a story of a woman, I think it happened in Zambia, that has swapped over 5,000 babies.
No.
Wow.
She was a nurse.
That's an achievement.
Can you imagine? So now what is the fate of these 5,000 babies, 5,000 parents raising children that is not theirs? So you see, this, for example, that DNA manipulation you mentioned, all these cases are, let's say, 10 over 100. You see that remaining 90% is fraud. Let's not say another thing.
That's fine.
It is fraud. So okay. it is intentional. It is deliberate. See, a woman, a mother knows the father of his or her child. I'm not talking about when the lady was raped and maybe raped by multiple
potential
fathers now. So you see that case is also different. 1 over 10, 2 over 10. But now in a case where you know that this baby does not belong to this person and you still say that no, he's rich, he can do it, I want to be married to him.
Fear could actually make that woman not want to open up to the man.
Exactly.
For the man not to see her to be she's loose or this or that, or not to be pushed out from that family.
So just like you said, there are a whole lot of scenarios surrounding this. Okay. But may God help Nigeria.
Crime. The paternity fraud is a crime. That's all I know.
Yes, it's a crime.
Okay. Well, now let me just say this. So, what's your own advice to victim? I mean, in just a few seconds now, what do you guys think you can tell people, or should I say, the man that is a victim to this paternity fraud? In just a few seconds, what is your advice, Tony? Okay,
the 3 individuals involved, they are all victims. The mother is a victim, the father is a victim, the child is a victim. When I say the mother is a victim, sometimes you may not be aware that this child is not this man that I love. Is not his child. The father is a victim because of the emotional stress he's going to go through, and the child is a victim, like I said earlier, is going to face a whole lot of backlash, stigmatization in the society. So the little advice I would give them is, for the man, this issue of DNA should have been ascertained at birth. and try as much as you see this issue of trust between the man and the woman. We need to work on it. But this issue that arises from paternity fraud and cases like this will not make relationship work. It actually shakes the foundation of relationship, of marriage and everything. So maybe I'm a novice in this regard, but the truth is the man or the woman society will help and God will help us.
Okay, back to Omolola. So Omolola, just a few seconds. What's your advice for victim and under this paternity?
Just like Tony said, it's a whole lot. It's but I would suggest that you let love rule, let love reign. Now, I'm not saying that you should turn a blind eye to this. Let's say, for example, you have found yourself in this situation. What would it profit you to throw the bath water away with the baby? If you think that you are magnanimous enough to continue raising that child, please do. Please do. You are helping the society. You are helping us raise sane and better children.
I'm not seeing a thread within him, Abi.
No. That's what I said. If he's magnanimous enough, like, you should let love rule. You should know that only God can. Okay, let's say a 60-year-old man that just discovered that he's the victim of paternity fraud. Where do you want him to start from? So you see, you should just let love. It's not only the children that you give birth to biologically are your children.
Allow us to talk our minds.
They are your children. So you see, the ones that you picked up from the streets, the one you adopted, the one your brother, your sister, whosoever, your niece, your nephew, they are your children too. So learn to accept them, embrace them, and nurture them to the full capacity that God. And if you know that you cannot, please just walk away. Don't let the anger eat so deep into you that you become something else. You see some father, like that man now that just slumped and died, just like that. It's only God that will help us, help our society. And that is why we are here talking about issues like this, bringing the reality to you to know that we just need to do better. Everything is not the government. We need to do better.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Viewers out there, this is the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Paternity fraud. You see, whether we like it or not, we need to build a healthy society. A healthy society will give all of us a peaceful place to stay. Once again, this is Mindful Matters on Primus Media Radio. Now, there will be something new coming up on the show very soon. We'll be celebrating people on their birthday on each month. So if you want us to celebrate you, or you want us to celebrate someone close to you, please reach out to us. Give us the necessary information, and we will celebrate the person for you here on the studio. Once again, this is Mindful Matters. On behalf of Mindful Matters team, we'll say thank you. See you next week.
We also have announced that they should bring their DNA result too.
When you talk about music,
girl, I know fit wait. Give me fire, make it blaze. Make it blaze.
Sport is show.
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch.
Programs Unko e plenty news and current affairs. Everything is in one.
Primus Radio. Express, exhibit, explore.
Are you ready to explore the world around you with fresh insights? Tune in to Mindful Matters. Join us every week as we dive deep into topics that matters. Our experts, guests, and thought-provoking discussions will enlighten, educate, and inspire positive change. Catch us every Thursday by 4 to 5 p.m. on Primus Media City. Mindful Matters, bringing reality to you.